October 17th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including a Darien residents mourning a man who died in a weekend car crash. We have a look at your forecast and a Nutmeg Sports update later on with Frank Granito, and Donald Eng will join us to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a man fatally shot in a Bridgeport barber shop last weekend died trying to protect the life of a little boy whose hair he had just cut. Police and coworkers are calling Dion Rodney a hero. The 32-year-old Rodney was shot in the abdomen inside Just Right Cuts barber shop in Bridgeport on Saturday evening when the gunman chased another man into the shop. Justin Riley, owner of the barber shop, tells the Connecticut Post that Rodney punched and tackled the gunman, and the weapon went off during that scuffle. Riley says Rodney had a son about the boy's age and had an intense dislike for bullies. Now, there were several other customers in the shop at the time. Police Captain Roderick Porter called Rodney's death tragic. The shooter remains at large. And in other news, Darien residents are mourning the loss of a 90-year-old resident who died in a car crash in Wallingford on Sunday. 90-year-old Edward Carabillo of Raymond Street in Darien was the operator of a 2016 Audi convertible, which collided with a 2012 Nissan Titan pickup truck. Now, Carabillo at one time served on Darien's Monuments and Ceremonies Commission. Dave Pollitt, current chairman of the commission, said this is sad news indeed. He was a valuable, longtime member of our Monuments and Ceremonies Commission, volunteering for many years to lead a division in the Memorial Day Parade. Now, Pollitt said he was a veteran and always supported the cause of veterans, a true asset to their commission. He was also a hard worker and a real gentleman with a great sense of humor. Now, Mr. Caraballo also was a member of the Piedmont Club, and President Nick DeMeo said that Caraballo was a gentleman who was always generous with his time. Now, that accident investigation is ongoing. The front seat passenger in that Audi, 82-year-old Natalie Einson, was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital, where she is being evaluated for non-life-threatening injuries. The operator of the Nissan, 69-year-old Ronald Benito of Wallingford, suffered only minor injuries and was not transported from the scene. Well, in Fairfield, a Congress Street man had to quarantine his dog for 14 days after it bit a friend. The Fairfield Citizen reports that an East Lawn Drive resident reported October 13th that his friend brought his 11-year-old Wheaton Terrier Buddy to her house the day before. The victim said he bent down, the dog bit him on the wrist, causing puncture wounds. Now, animal control records show that Buddy, owned by James Shaper, had been reported in 2014 for biting a postal carrier. The dog does have a valid rabies vaccination, but his license had expired. Shepard received a written warning for the lapsed license and was ordered to quarantine the dog on his property for 14 days. And in other news, two 15-year-olds, one driving a 33-year-old Mercedes, were injured in a motor vehicle accident just before 1:30 in the morning Tuesday. The accident happened around 1:30 a.m. in Tolland, a few miles off of I-84. Now, state police say the two juveniles, who were not identified because of their age, received minor injuries in the early morning crash. According to the accident summary, a male juvenile was driving a 1984 Mercedes 190E unreasonably fast when it left the road and sideswiped a tree. Now, the vehicle came to an uncontrolled rest on the roadside of the northbound lane. The two were taken to the Connecticut Children's Medical Center in Hartford. The 15-year-old driver was also arrested on a number of charges, including operating a motor vehicle without a license, reckless driving, and risk of injury to a minor. Well, Charles Flowers, executive director of the Boy Scouts of America Connecticut Yankee Council, said he's heard some positive feedback about plans to open the Cub Scouting program to girls starting in the fall of 2018, but there's also been some objections to that plan. Perhaps the loudest objection so far has come from the Girl Scouts, whose leaders say that their program is the right one for girls. Mary Barnaby, CEO of the Girl Scouts of Connecticut, said in part, Girl Scouts is and will remain the scouting program that truly benefits U.S. girls by providing a safe space for them to learn and lead. Now, Flowers, who is based at the Yankee Council in Milford, said the national organization has been discussing for years the idea of opening the program to girls. Last week, the Boy Scouts of America Board of Directors unanimously approved that change, announcing the program expansion on its website. Well, in her letter to the media, Barnaby agrees that leadership is a vital characteristic, but argues that Girl Scouts is the place for young women to learn it. She said the need for female leadership has never been clearer or more urgent than it is today, and only Girl Scouts has expertise to give girls and young women the tools they need for success. She also argued that girls need a place of their own to develop leadership skills. Now, there's a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that McDonald's has announced plans to hire 1,200 people in Connecticut during the 2017 holiday season in Connecticut. They used the Snapchat mobile app to announce that. It was also credited with increasing applications 35% during its summer hiring window. Now, McDonald's has some 60 locations in southwestern Connecticut, with several in the process of being overhauled for new ordering and customer service features. Now, the company lists potential openings online at mcdonalds.com/careers. All right, let's take a turn now, throw it over to Frank Granito and get a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, well, thank you, Kate. A little bit warmer out compared to yesterday as we don't see wind gusts as strong, just around 10 miles per hour, a high of 59 today, and temperatures might jump in to the low 60s later on. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day and clear skies overnight, a low of 45 heading into Wednesday, and we are going to get perfect weather for the FCAC Cross Country Championships. A high of 70 degrees tomorrow. It is going to be pleasant and warm with absolutely a sunshine-packed day. Winds around 6 to 8 miles per hour should make for perfect running conditions. A low of 51 tomorrow night and clear skies. We'll see a lot of the same on Thursday, just a little bit more cloud cover moving in later on. Wind gusts around 13 miles per hour, a high of 70 degrees, mostly clear overnight, and a low of 52 as we head for the weekend. That'll do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this.
Wild Birds Unlimited.
At Wild Birds Unlimited of Brookfield, get expert advice from our certified bird feeding specialists. We offer always fresh, clean seed that will be sure to attract birds to your home feeder. Experience our excellent customer service. Open 7 days a week. Visit us at 317 Federal Road, Brookfield.
Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off tour with the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
At Rings End, we say it's time to re-love your home. Time to refresh and reinvigorate the way you live. And whether you're redoing something big or small, remember the letters RE stand for Rings End. We're the new model in home remodeling.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Welcome back to this October 17th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Okay, we're looking back on those halcyon days when sitting in a line was sort of the national pastime. First, though, we go all the way back to 1777. That's 200 and some years ago. British General John Burgoyne surrenders his army at Saratoga, New York. The capture of the 6,000 Redcoats was the precipitating factor that drew France into the war on the side of the Americans. How important was the French participation? Consider that 4 years later, when Cornwallis surrendered to Washington at Yorktown, the French forces outnumbered Washington's Continentals 6-1. To 1888, the first issue of the National Geographic magazine, released at newsstands, published only a few months after the National Geographic Society formed. The inaugural issue did not look much like what we know today. It would be 17 years before the first photos were printed in National Geographic. The distinctive yellow jacket would not debut until 1910. 1931, gangster Al Capone is sentenced to 11 years in prison for tax evasion. Capone had been on top of the FBI's most wanted list since the St. Valentine's Day massacre 2 years earlier, but he had avoided prison by bribing and intimidating witnesses and officers. After a brief stint in prison in Atlanta, Capone was transferred to Alcatraz, where he was released, where he served till 1939 when he was released for his failing health due to advanced syphilis. He would die in 1947 at age 48. Finally, now we go to 1973 for this.
Refineries in the United States rely on 26 million gallons of crude oil from the Middle East to keep operating at full capacity. That is only 5 or 6% of our daily fuel needs, but if in the months to come the Arabs cut it off gradually, as they threaten, by next summer the shortage will be far more serious than it was this past summer. Oil production in this country is running at about 100% of capacity. We have no hope of getting oil out of new domestic.
Yes, that is OPEC imposing an oil embargo against a number of Western countries, including the United States, that were considered to have helped Israel in its war against Egypt and Syria. OPEC threatened to reduce oil production by 5% every month until the West stopped supporting Israel, and by March of '74, production had dropped to 77% of its pre-embargo level in just 5 months. The math is a bit tricky, but trust me, it's correct. That is your look back in history for today, October 17th, and I'm Donald Ing.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, Connecticut's Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has cautioned drivers to watch out for increased deer and moose activity along roads, especially during early morning and evening hours. Now, fall is the peak of the breeding season for the state's small but expanding moose population in the northern part of the state. The breeding season, or the rut, for white-tailed deer closely follows the moose breeding season, running from late October through late December. Now, DEP's Wildlife Division says motorists should heed deer crossing signs because moose are darker in color and stand much higher than deer. Observing reflective eye shine from headlights is infrequent. When struck, however, moose often end up impacting the windshield of vehicles. Officials say all moose and deer vehicle collisions should be reported back to the State Conservation Police at 860-424-3333. Now, during 2016, about 3,700 deer were killed in the state due to collisions with vehicles, according to Rick Jacobson, the director of the DEP Wildlife Division. Over 40 moose vehicle accidents have been reported in Connecticut between 1995 and 2016, with an average of 2 a year since 2002. And in other news, in Ridgefield, a request to enlarge the central business district by nearly 7 acres, the Boys and Girls Club property, the nearby town parking lot, and a small wooded area behind it will be up for public comment tonight. The proposed zone change sought by the Boys and Girls Club to accommodate an eventual expansion will be the subject of a Planning and Zoning Commission public hearing tonight, October 17th at 7:30 in the Town Hall Annex in Ridgefield. Now, attorney for the project, Bob Jewell, said this application seeks to expand the central business district to its natural boundary of East Ridge. It will also expand the Village District and the jurisdiction of the Village District Commission, further protecting the downtown area, he said. Now, Boys and Girls Club Executive Director Mike Flynn told the press that the zone change is being sought to accommodate a future expansion. And there's plenty on the menu for restaurant mavens in Monroe this week. After years on ice, Monroe's first ever restaurant week has finally come to the front burner thanks to the town's Economic Development Commission, giving more than a dozen local eateries a chance to display their culinary creations for locals and out-of-towners alike. Now, the 7-day promotion began on Monday and runs through Sunday, October 22nd, and this could not have come soon enough for many local leaders who have long seen this as a perfect way to put Monroe's restaurant scene on the Fairfield County map. And you can find out a lot more at MonroeCourier.com. And Stratford Sterling House Executive Director Amanda Meeson spoke recently to the Stratford Star-editor Melvin Mason about renovations at that community center during a recent reopening. Take a look.
We have a 4-stop elevator, which is very important specifically for our food pantry. So when you get down to the basement of the elevator, you can come out and be served food. We have pet food pantry and diaper bank as well. The amount of seniors, the majority of our food pantry clients are seniors, and I've watched just over my short time here people going down the staircase that many of you may know. So for them, certainly this is a huge improvement. for the community at large. We can have any program on any floor of the house because we know that it's accessible now. In addition to the elevator, the food pantry is renovated. You'll also see a new front lobby and reception area. You'll see new floors. You'll see what looks like new furniture, which is the furniture from Milford Bank's old branch. Very grateful for that. So it's been a really exciting time. Please do.
Now, the grand reopening coincided with Sterling House's 85th anniversary celebration weekend, which ran last Friday to Sunday. There's more on that story at StratfordStar.com. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Yesterday, we were live at Kennedy Stadium for boys soccer in the FCAC. Bridgeport Central hosting Trinity Catholic. Our first look at both of these teams this year, having great years and improvement on last season and really taking big strides with both programs. But yesterday, it was the Hilltoppers from start to finish. They would go on and win this game by a score of 5-1. Con Seneca got the game started with the first goal. Jonathan Gomes added 2 goals. Jose Santos and Joshua Smith scored goals 4 and 5 for the Hilltoppers. We've got highlights from their big win. Let's take a look now.
A world-class save.
Good help from the defense, too, clearing this one away. But now a corner opportunity towards the net, and the Hilltoppers are on the board.
Oh, beautiful finish with the head there. Oh, lovely ball for Ortega.
Opportunity for Gomes. Chips it up, and it's 2-0. Absolute beauty. Ready to toy with Benitez. Smolak now denying Josh Smith. Got through, though, and able to finish is Santos alone in front of the cage.
No pressure at all. Trinity's got to step to the ball.
Smith lets one go, and he puts it into the right side of the cage. With the left foot, the senior with a big finish. Call it even for the burn I had on you in Nutmeg. Is this one given away? Callie in space, shot, and he will finish. A careless mistake from Central, and the captain, Callie, comes away with the goal.
Oh, nice little dummy.
That will be the icing on the cake. Gomes adds his second. A beautiful little outside flick, and it is 5-1 Central. The win puts Bridgeport Central just 6 points out of the final FCAC playoff spot. And after some shakeup yesterday, it is going to be a very tightly contested final 2 weeks of the season. We saw some big upsets, including New Canaan taking down Ridgefield by a score of 3-1. What do you think of that, Kevin Coleman? That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. We'll have plenty more later on this afternoon. And, of course, make sure you tune in tomorrow afternoon. We have got the FCAC Cross Country Championships from Waveney Park. Kate's going to have a special morning coffee break at 11 a.m. from the park. We'll tell you everything you need to know then. Kate?
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following on your coffee break after this.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care gives you direct access to orthopedic specialists fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Orthopedics Walk-In Urgent Care can help. Open 7 days a week now at 3 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue, Norwalk, 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien, or in the Westport Medical Center at 323 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Go to coastalorthoct.com. Like them on Facebook.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during the summer clearance event, you'll find some of our best prices too. Like this lease on a 2017 Ram Quad Cab Express for $149 a month. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Richfield, PambyZone.com.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
Welcome back to this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. The man fatally shot in a Bridgeport barbershop last weekend died trying to protect the life of a little boy whose hair he had just cut. Police and coworkers are calling Dion Rodney a hero. The 32-year-old Rodney was shot in the abdomen inside the Just Right Cuts barbershop in Bridgeport on Saturday evening when the gunman chased another man into the shop. Now, Justin Riley, owner of that barbershop, told the Connecticut Post that Rodney punched and tackled the gunman and the weapon went off during that scuffle. Riley says Rodney had a son about the boy's age and he had an intense dislike for bullies. Now, there were several other customers in the shop at the time. Bridgeport Police Captain Roderick Porter called Rodney's death tragic. The shooter remains at large. And Darien residents are mourning the loss of a 90-year-old resident who died in a car crash in Wallingford on Sunday. 90-year-old Edward Carabillo of Raymond Street in Darien was the driver of a 2016 Audi convertible which collided with a 2012 Nissan Titan pickup truck. Carabillo at one time served on the town's Monuments and Ceremonies Commission. Dave Pollitt, current chairman of that commission, said that this is sad news indeed. Pollitt said he was a valuable longtime member of our Monuments and Ceremonies Commission, volunteering for many years to lead a division in the Memorial Day Parade. Pollitt said he was a veteran and always supported the cause of veterans. A true asset to our commission, he was a hard worker with a great sense of humor, and he will be missed by all. Now, Carabillo also was a member of the Piedmont Club, and President Nick DeMeo told the Darien Times that Carabillo was a gentleman who was generous with his time. That accident investigation is ongoing. The front seat passenger in the Audi, 82-year-old Natalie Ainson, was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital, but for non-life-threatening injuries. The operator of the Nissan, 69-year-old Ronald Benito of Wallingford, suffered only minor injuries and was not taken to the hospital. And in Fairfield, a Congress Street man had to quarantine his dog for 14 days after it bit a friend. The Fairfield Citizen reports an East Lawn Drive resident reported October 13th that his friend brought his 11-year-old Wheaton Terrier Buddy to his house the day before. The victim said when he bent down, the dog bit him on the wrist, causing puncture wounds. Well, animal control records show that Buddy, owned by James Shaper, had been reported in 2014 for biting a postal carrier. The dog does have a valid rabies vaccination, but his license was expired. Shepard received a written warning for the lapsed license and was ordered to quarantine the dog on his property for 14 days. And two 15-year-olds, one driving a 33-year-old Mercedes, were injured in a motor vehicle accident just before 1:30 this morning. That accident happened in Tolland, a few miles off of I-84. State police say the two juveniles who were not identified because of their age received minor injuries in the early morning crash. According to the accident summary, a male juvenile was driving a 1984 Mercedes 190E unreasonably fast when it left the road and sideswiped a tree. The vehicle came to an uncontrolled rest on the roadside of the northbound lane. The two were taken to the Connecticut Children's Medical Center in Hartford. The 15-year-old driver was also arrested on a number of charges, including operating a motor vehicle without a license, reckless driving, and risk of injury to a minor. All right, let's get one final look at your forecast with Frank Granito. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Again, not as cold as it was yesterday with wind gusts down around 10 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine coming today. We'll see a high of about 59 degrees. Clear skies overnight and a low of 45. Heading into tomorrow's FCAC Championships for cross country, it's going to be a perfect day for running. Sunny skies all day long. A little warmer out with temperatures right around 70 degrees and a cool breeze will make for perfect conditions. Clear skies again overnight, a low of 51. We'll see a lot of the same on Thursday. Temperatures around 70, a little increasing cloud cover later on in the day, and then a low of 52 overnight with mostly clear skies heading for the weekend. We're back at 2 o'clock for Nutmeg Sports, a full breakdown of yesterday's action. Plus, we're going to have plenty more to get you ready for the upcoming FCAC Cross Country Championships tomorrow at Waveney, Kate.
All right, that's right. And coming up at 12:30 today, The Drive with Denise is live in studio with Billy Blanks Jr., so be sure to check it out. And of course, as Frank said, we will see you tomorrow at Waveney Park in New Canaan for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.